Welcome to Mike's Retro Curiosities, where we explore the wonderful world of retro games. Now, can somebody please tell me what time it is? Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go. Yeah, that line pretty much lives rent-free in my head. So this is Crazy Taxi. It was released for the Sega Naomi arcade platform and the Sega Dreamcast in 1999. The Sega Naomi was basically a console, an arcade version of the Dreamcast, so the conversion to a home system was pretty much completely seamless, and this is pretty much a perfect arcade port, or at least as close to perfect as you could get. In terms of gameplay, this is a racing game, but a rather unconventional one. It takes place in sort of a sandbox that's obviously inspired by San Francisco with its steep hills and trolley cars. The idea is that you're trying to deliver passengers from one place to another and within a strict time limit, and you're trying to get there by any means necessary. In some ways, I could kind of describe this game as sort of a game of managing timers. Each passenger that you deliver has their own timer, and if you fail to deliver them within it, they'll just walk off out of the car even mid driving, and you'll lose a potential fare. But there's also a global timer for the stage. Each successful trip earns you an extension to the global timer. So the idea is that you're trying to shorten your trips as much as possible in order to reap the most benefit from them. And of course, like most good arcade games, the amount that you gain is never quite as much as how much you lose, and so eventually your run will end. The idea is to make as much money as possible within a given run, obviously by delivering passengers, but also you can earn tips by driving recklessly, by having near misses, by going off of ramps and catching big air, stuff like that. There's definitely something of a risk-reward system to this game, and the idea is basically that you're trying to earn a high score, except in this case it's money. Now, what makes this game so brilliant is the fact that if you're playing this just casually, you can have a very good time with it. You know, it's a lot of fun mayhem. But if you're good, you can, if you want to sort of dive into its mechanics and such, you can learn some new tricks. You can find the various hidden routes throughout the city and stuff like that that allow you to optimize your runs and try to boost your score as much as possible. So while this game is fairly simple on its surface, there is a fair amount of depth for you to sink your teeth into. Graphically, the game is very bright and sunny. It very much embodies the aesthetic of Sega Blue Skies, which, if you don't know what that is, that's kind of a common look that a lot of Sega games of this period had, where they had these sort of very bright, sunny skies. It sort of embodied a certain optimism, if you will, visually, that definitely set it apart from, say, the darker looks of Sony, for example. The soundtrack, at least in this original version, was done by The Offspring and Bad Religion, and they really did a great job of it. They really complemented the feel and tone of the game perfectly, and those songs are still kind of stuck in my head. Unfortunately, later releases of the game stripped out those licensed soundtracks. I guess that Sega didn't want to have to pay for the licenses again, which is really a shame because honestly, like, it's the two go together hand in hand. It's almost impossible for me to imagine playing this game without songs like Summer Wars and stuff like that. As far as the Dreamcast version itself is concerned, aside from having more or less the arcade game perfectly translated, it also featured a few other options, different ways you could tweak the rules and the timers to customize the game however you like. Plus, there was also a new mode added called Crazy Box, which was essentially a series of missions that you could play that kind of helped you hone your skills and learn some of the more hidden mechanics within the game. It's definitely quite a fun addition, and quite challenging. I still haven't finished it. Overall, Crazy Taxi is a really great time that I definitely recommend to pretty much anyone. Only thing is that I definitely recommend that you play the game in short doses. This is kind of a game that benefits from being played in sort of half an hour to an hour long sessions. This isn't really the sort of game that you binge and you play all day or anything like that. I kind of feel that if you play it like that, you're kind of gonna get bored after a while. As far as sequels are concerned, there was an immediate follow up on the Dreamcast, which featured a new map set that was more or less based on New York City. There was a third game release that was an exclusive to the original Xbox that more or less had its setting based on Las Vegas. The first two games would eventually be compiled into a collection called Crazy Taxi Fare Wars for the PSP. Not to mention, the original game would be ported to a bunch of various systems. I think I actually have it on my phone here. Sega actually recently has been hinting at the possibility of perhaps bringing the series back, or perhaps it already is back if you're watching this in the future. But we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But yeah, that's Crazy Taxi. Now I want to know what you guys think about it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. This episode is sponsored by M&M Games, and I will see you guys next time.